it happened. Randy Orton turned babyface tonight, trying to save us from a boring Cody Rhodes' title reign. Oh my God, thank you that Randy snapped, he listened to the voices, he attacked, and now we're not going to have 5 weeks of, I respect you, no, I respect you, no, I respect you. Oh, thank God, Randy Orton, after Cody Rhodes, they have a contract signed, and Cody Rhodes tells Randy Orton, hey man, I get it, you're going to have to be the Apex Predator, the Viper, the Legend Killer, all of these things, and then they give a hug, and I'm like, oh crap. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley part 2, and then Randy just was like, nope, and went psycho, and he was very silent, so this was like serial killer Randy Orton, and he gets really silent, and he just lays into Cody Rhodes, makes him bleed and everything. He didn't put him through the table. I thought he was going to, but he didn't. He puts him, like, he gets him in, like, the steel steps, right, and Cody's bleeding all over the place. Jelly Roll, who, you know, is Randy Orton's best friend, apparently, from last year. He was in the audience. We'll talk more about him later. But he tries to stop Cody, and Randy pushes him down, which I thought was kind of cool. I actually did like that. I wish he would have RKO'd him, to tell you the truth. But, hey, you know what? This was definitely a step in the right direction. I am just so happy that there's animosity and now a feud here. And then Randy will come back and hit Cody with the chair. You don't really see it, but, you know, he hits him with the chair. It's a loud bang because he's still in the steps. He pushed Nick Aldis down too, so Randy's all in. Randy's all in on this heel turn. And boy howdy, we haven't had a real heel Randy since 2021, 22. Like, it's been a minute, and I actually did enjoy Randy as a babyface, but I'm telling you, Randy as a heel, he is so much better. And then he takes the chair that he hit Cody with, he sets it up in the ring, he sits down, he puts the belt on his lap, and he just is like thinking, contemplating on what just happened. Good segment. This was a very average SmackDown. You know, SmackDowns are just too long. If this was a 2-hour SmackDown, it probably would have been a banger. But because it was 3 hours, it was just way too long. And this, along with some other segments, there was some other good stuff, but this segment really just, good stuff here. I really did enjoy it. And there was a moment in the contract signing. You know, Cody lays out their history, right? He lays out their history, and Randy's like, he's about to sign it, and then he puts it down. He's like, oh, this was supposed to be easy. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre. Oh. And then that's when Cody, you know, talks him up, hypes him up, and then that's when Randy snaps. So it looks like Randy, he had made a decision, like, he's going to win this title no matter what, right? And if it was Drew, he would have done what he did tonight to Drew if it had been Drew, and that would have been easy. But because it was Cody, it wasn't easy for him to just lay in this attack, but he's prioritizing the 15th title reign over his friendship with Cody. So this was not easy, but it had to be done in the eyes of Randy Orton. You know, it was like, I did get vibes of John Cena turning heel last year, but I don't care. You know what? Randy's actually going to be present. There's there was a singer in the last heel turn as well, but at least Jelly Roll didn't puncture Cody Rhodes' eardrum, and I think Jelly Roll is not going to be in this feud, hopefully. And I think it was just an exclamation point of, yes, Randy's full blown heel here. But yeah, shades of John Cena last year turning heel, not as impactful, of course, because, you know, that was John Cena, this is Randy Orton, but, you know, it's good because I want to see it, and I can't wait to hear what Randy has to say. I hope Randy leaves out all the respect, and he's just like, you know what, it's fine, it's whatever, I am the Apex Predator, and I'm back. I'm going for 15. I'm going to make it happen. And yeah, just great stuff right here. Randy Orton, 15 championships if he wins at Mania. Did you know that this is his first title? Yeah, the big gold gold belt. Not with the brown straps, but this is actually the first title, the lineage of the first title that he did capture. What was he, 24 years old, I do believe? And if you want to win this title and capture it for yourself, all you got to do is comment below. I am going to give this belt away, or any other belt if you see it on my shoulder, at 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job. All you got to do, subscribe and comment. That's how I pick the winner. It's not a toy, people. It's a replica. All right, so yeah, that was great stuff. The Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes stuff. That's how we closed the night. Now, I will say there were a couple other good things that happened here as well. We had a Danhausen. I think he has fully cursed The Miz. Last week, he had said, if you don't, no, stop talking, Siri. Siri, you're ruining the video, Siri. All right, so we have, Siri's still trying to listen to me. Quit listening. What are you, the government? All right. So we have Danhausen said last week, if you don't mentor me, I will curse you. Well, Miz has fully said, no, I am not cursing you, or I am not mentoring you, so therefore he is now cursed. And then when he goes out to the ring, first off, the microphone's not working. So right off the bat, we know, well, this is the curse that's happening. He calls out Jelly Roll, and he says, I want to be your mentor. And Jelly Roll's like, you kind of turn on everybody. And then Miz says, you know what, I liked you better when you were fat. I like that line. I'm surprised WWE and its sanitized self would do something like that. If this was the Vince McMahon Attitude Era, they would have had a bunch of fat people come out at that moment. But he cuts a really good promo on the Miz after the Miz says, you know what, it's because of me you lost all this weight. 2 years ago, when you couldn't get up at SummerSlam, I picked you up. I helped pick you up, and that's a true story, actually. And you can go back to SummerSlam 2024, I think, yeah, and you can see that. Or is it 23 or 24, and you can see the segment of Jelly Roll is way bigger. But Jelly Roll takes offense to that, and he's like, you know what? I put in all the hard work. I did not like Jelly Roll at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam last year. I mean, I do though recognize his passion for the sport, his respect of the sport, and I'm not gonna lie, if I was in his position, I would have accepted the offer as well. However, I'm just, what did Roman call me? A 30 to 40-year-old virgin in a basement? Being that is what I am, I can say, yeah, I don't want Jelly Roll in my wrestling, but I do respect his love of the sport. And I gotta say, though, this was an entertaining segment, too. I will give credit where credit is due. And Jelly Roll does seem to, more often than not, hit it out of the park when he's involved, which I begrudgingly say. Maybe I do like Jelly Roll in wrestling, because every single time he does entertain me. Because not only that, Kit Wilson comes out, and I loved that. I loved it because I wasn't expecting it. It was a surprise. Triple H doesn't surprise me a lot. I was more surprised about Kit Wilson coming out during this segment than I was Randy Orton turning. I didn't see Randy Orton turning, but you could feel that it could happen. Anyways, Kit Wilson comes out. He calls Jelly Roll fatphobic, which is hilarious. And Jelly Roll's, hey man, I like you, kind of, sort of. And Kit Wilson's like, you mocked me. And next week we are going to have a Kit Wilson calls out Jelly Roll. So it looks like Jelly Roll's going to have a WrestleMania spot with Kit Wilson. And I'm even thinking more so, it's going to be Kit Wilson, The Miz versus Danhausen and Jelly Roll. I don't know how I feel about that. What's worse is that I kind of want that. I don't know how I feel about myself kind of wanting that, but I'm just going to need some alone time to reflect later, because that's like a car crash, and yet it's I think it might be a good car crash. If there is such a thing. So then the Miz will go back later, and Danhausen's like, yeah, you're cursed, man. You are cursed. So, yeah, we shall. That's played up, and It's appropriate. You know, I just did a Easter egg video with Danhausen and The Miz, and I forgot to say that The Miz is kind of like the gatekeeper of new talent. It's like if you come from NXT or you're new, you kind of have to go through The Miz. I forgot to state that on my video. Let me know if you want more Easter egg Danhausen videos, because they're really fun to do. So yeah, that segment was really, really begrudgingly good. And then we go to the beginning of the hour. The show starts off with Drew McIntyre coming out and just being really mad and getting in the face of Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis is like, no wonder you didn't want Cody to fight you, because you lost the first chance he got to fight you. And then Jacob comes out and he's like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? I want you, Drew. I'm the reason you are champion. So I just corrected everything. I don't like that Jacob just kind of dropped his beef with Cody. I mean, those two were fighting like all over the arena at Saturday Night's Main Event, and now Jacob is like, I read it wrong. Whatever. Jacob and Drew, they get each other's face, but Drew says, yeah, forget this, I quit. And it's like, ooh, it was like 2 years ago, but Drew McIntyre, I believe when CM Punk screwed him at Clash in at the Castle, didn't he quit then also after that? Or he quit like really soon. There was a moment where he just quit, like within the last, like, I don't know, year or two. And so it really did remind me of that. Regardless, he quits, and it's like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then Jacob's all mad, and Jacob's like yelling at Nick, but then Trick William comes in. This is later in the show. Trick William comes in, they have a thing, they talk, and it's like, all right, let's have you two fight each other now. And so we're going to have a matchup between Trick and Jacob, and this match was good. This should have been the only really long match on the show. We had a couple tag team matches. We should have really shortened those, and we should have just shortened every match. You know what? Carmelo Hayes didn't defend his title on tonight's show. That was kind of weird. But this match was a decent, good, really good show. And I'm really surprised they let Jacob Fatu lose. This was right before the Cody Randy Orton segment, but Drew comes back and it's revealed that he didn't quit. He attacks Jacob Fatu and allows Trick Williams to win. So like Trick gets the win, Jacob is protected, and then Drew beats him up more. Now surprisingly though, we're going to do Drew versus Jacob next week on SmackDown. Great, but that seems like that is the go-to WrestleMania match, because now for sure it's going to be Cody and Randy, because there's no need for it to be a four-way, because you know they don't need adversaries now. Randy is the adversary. So Drew and Jacob next week is probably just going to be a double DQ. Sorry. Yeah, it's late, and I'm drinking Red Bull. Red Bull doesn't even affect me anymore. But yeah, good stuff here. Trick gets the win, and Jacob protected, and now we have a good, solid feud for those two. And then everything else that happened was just kind of so-so. And when I say it like this, when I say all these things that happened, it does seem like a banger SmackDown episode, doesn't it? But again, just everything's too long. I'm giving you the highlight reels. If you were to go and condense everything I just said into a 20-minute clip, that'd be a banger 20 minutes. But like when you have to stretch it out over 3 hours, then it becomes a little laborious. We have, so the never-ending feud for the Lantern happened. Solo and Tama Tonga versus Uncle Howdy and the tall one, Eric Rowan. And it's like, what? I don't get this feud at all. Now we've done the 5-on-5. We've done the leaders fighting each other. Now we're doing the leaders and the tall ones fighting each other. They've already beat each other for the tag belts. What's left? What is left of this feud that has been going on since a month after SummerSlam last year? And for the third time or the fourth time, I've lost count. Literally lost count. The Wyatts at one point get the lantern, and they're like, yay, we got the lantern back. And then the MFTs beat up the person who has the lantern, and they take it, and they're like, haha, we got the lantern back. And then Solo ate the pin. Like, dude, this guy was like, he was nose to nose with Roman Reigns on the first episode of Netflix, and now, like, he can't even beat the Wyatts? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Are we going to have, like, there's just no reason for that, to tell you the truth. My thing's screwing up. Give me a second. Then we have Shinsuke did try to talk Tama Tonga, like, hey man, what are you doing? Which is also weird because those two, Tama Tonga and Shinsuke, already had a matchup like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's like, why give us that match, have a definitive winner of Tama Tonga, for Shinsuke to continuously be in his ear saying, hey, you need to do better, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's like we've already seen the payoff, the final match between those two. Excuse me. My thing's all messed up. But honestly, I've already told you all the good stuff. Damian Priest, R-Truth, they fought Largaza. I really like Largaza. I wish they would get more stories. I think they're really fun to watch in the ring. I think they do have personality. They just haven't been given opportunities to shine with it. So, like, I wish Largaza would get more. But Damian Priest and R-Truth, they did win. You have the Charlotte and Alexa, they come out, but then the Bellas come out, and the Bellas are like, haha, we're next in line, which makes no sense because, like, we've had the women's tag team division has been stacked and full of teams. The Bellas have done nothing. Literally, the Bellas have appeared twice on TV before becoming #1 contenders. And their 2 appearances was once in the Royal Rumble when it's every woman for themselves, so they weren't even a tag team. And then the next night on Raw, or 2 nights later on Raw, they say, hey, we're here and we're coming for the belts. And then we don't see them again. So they've never won a match. They had not anything since coming back. And now they talked to Nick Aldis, and he said, you can be the #1 contenders. That makes no sense whatsoever because it's like, if he was a heel GM, then the Bellas only have to flirt with him. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can be #1 contenders. But why would the Bellas deserve, and I'm not hating on the Bellas, anybody like this, why do they deserve a tag team title match? Because, like, they've done nothing since coming back. Like, they've had 2 appearances, and none of them wrestled as a tag team. And then the Irresistible Forces, that's what they're calling Nia and Lash, they fight. At some point, they like throw Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and them take their collateral damage in the matchup, and then they will win. They will, no. That makes the Bellas mad, right? Sorry. That makes the Bellas mad. They go for they are getting, I think Nia or Lash is about to get twisted blissed, but then one of the Bellas just comes in and starts beating up the person that's about to take the pin. And it's like, oh, DQ. So that was kind of lame. But at least we didn't take the titles off the Irresistible Forces right away. But it does look like we're headed towards like some kind of triple threat match or maybe a TLC match at Mania. But yeah, right now I think we need to do more to establish the Bellas deserving a title shot in a tag division that has been red hot. I don't like a red hot tag division and suddenly some veterans coming in and trying to steal the spot. Sami Zayn was good throughout the night too. I did like Sami Zayn. He goes up to Cody and he's like, Cody, for what it's worth, I want you to win. And then Cody's like, didn't you say this to Randy last week? And then Sami's like, oh, it's like, I respect Randy because, he's like, I respect Randy, but he said, I look up to Randy, but I don't look up to you because we're friends and we're supposed to be equals. And then Cody's like, I look up to you even though we're friends. And so Sami's continuously crashing out, and Cody's like, what do you want, dude? Do you want a championship match after? Because you'll get one. Like, what are you doing here? And then Cody will eventually leave, and then Karrion Kross, Aleister Black comes in with Scarlett, Zelina Vega, and they basically say, yeah, what do you got going on here, dude? They're trying to tempt him to the dark side. Later, we'll also see Sami get in Trick's face and say, I guess, did you call me Mr. Can't Get the Job Done? Where you at, man? Well, you lost the Chamber, you lost Rumble, where you at? Well, where he at? He's beating Jacob Fatu. So, boom, there you go. I think we will get Sami versus, I'm still thinking Sami versus Trick at WrestleMania. But who knows? Maybe Trick versus Mello. I would actually love that even more. And Sami versus Black. Could be. We did see Carmelo Hayes. He did talk to Ilya Dragunov, and whatever's going on with Ilya Dragunov, I'm not interested in this guy right now. I'm sorry. I know he has a very passionate fan base, but for him to just be like, yeah, I need to win for my mom, and I'm not gonna fight. I'm doing this for me. I'm not fighting for me. I don't know. It's. I'm just not feeling it. So hopefully, whatever the end game is here. Hopefully I start feeling it soon. Did anything else happen? Excuse me. Tiffany Stratton came out talking. She was like walking to the ring and she was talking, and then Chelsea Green got in her way, and then she just pushed her. I thought that was funny. So Chelsea versus Kiana James, or not Chelsea, Tiffany versus Kiana James, and yeah, just shenanigans, and eventually Tiffany wins. It looks like we might have a triple threat, Tiffany, Chelsea, and Julia for the women's U.S. title. I don't hate that. I think they could do a little more right now, but there you go. I think that's pretty much it. If I'm forgetting something, it's not anything worth it. But the real story here is Drew and Jacob. Trick still rising, and of course, Randy Orton returning to his evil ways. Randy is just so much better as a heel. Very happy for that. I'll give this SmackDown, I'll give it a B-. You know, it was very, very, like, lackluster, but when it hit, it hit. It was like, it would almost be like, you know, just a shot of adrenaline, and then it would just, you were like, it would down, and just flatline, but then boom, it shot back up in these moments. So, there you go, boys. There you go, girls. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and hot takes tomorrow. See ya, bye.